Hi, my name's Phil Gardner and welcome to Fun with Boxes. Well, today I'm going to take a look back at AireCon West that was held in Telford earlier this year, just a mere few weeks ago. Well, of course, as always, our journey begins on a train, or a number of trains I should say, and of course we have to ensure that we've taken on board our refreshments for the journey. And some of the nice things about travelling by train, if you're lucky enough to get a table seat there, is of course we get to play some games on the way to AireCon West, which is always a good thing. So it was quite handy. We got to play the wonderful sumo game from Bright Eyed Games and also play a game of Fantasy Pub, though I'm a little bit vague on that one if I'm honest. Too many refreshments perhaps. Who knows? Well, we got to one of the hotels where the event was held and of course met up with some of the lovely volunteers that we always see at AireCon. And what a delight it is to meet them every time we go. This really is a highlight for us. And we spent a couple of hours trying out some new games with Mark and had a lovely time. And of course met some lovely people as well, including Rich, this fine gentleman. And before we knew it, it was no longer Thursday night, it was now Friday morning, so time to head back to our hotel for a small nightcap, of course, before we then get ready for Friday. And what a wonderful day it was at Telford International Centre, made even more wonderful by our lovely friends Ruth and St John, who bought Lisa a gift. And what better gift could you give Lisa than a beaver? She certainly loves beavers. Just look at her little face. Oh, bless her. Ruth and St John, thank you so much for getting Lisa that gift. She's been playing with her beaver ever since. So it was time, of course, to play lots of games, have lots of fun, and of course go to the obligatory beer tasting session held by the wonderful Mark. And unfortunately for Mark, the terrible twosome of Lisa and Mark's mother were there to take part and keep Mark very much on his toes, though I think I probably irritated him that day as well. You never know. But such is the life of a beer taster presenter. It comes with the highs and the lows, I'm sure, especially when the terrible twosome are there together. Did I mention them? We had a marvellous time tasting Belgian beers, and here are the bottles that we tried. Needless to say, a great time was had by all, and of course we got to meet lovely people again. This is something that I really enjoy about AireCon. You go to any AireCon event and you will find the most wonderful people in the world. And of course, it wasn't just us tasting the beer. Oh no, Lisa's beaver got a soak in as well. That sure is a thirsty beaver. So then the next day arrived, and with it a hangover. I didn't expect that, or rather, I should have expected that. So it was Saturday and off we went for day 2, and we'd already signed up for the Crokinole Championship event there, held by Steve from Maplewood, where due to a previous drinking injury, I had to pull out at the last minute and get some rather well-deserved fresh air. But Lisa joined in and did superbly well, just not as well as everybody else, unfortunately. But of course, there was a winner, and that winner was the wonderful Steve. Congratulations again, Steve. What a player. And talking of Steve and Maplewood, thanks very much for the hat, Steve. And there was some stalls there at the convention, so we spent a little bit of time over the Saturday and Sunday popping along to have a little look to see what was there. One of the stalls was selling mead, and mighty fine that was, so we had to stop and have a little taster, and after tasting it, had to buy a bottle. Very nice indeed. and I met the designer, Tom, of deck chairs on the Titanic. And it was very nice to spend some time with him as he took us through how the game plays, and was also super generous and gave us a copy of the game so that we could show you on the channel. So watch out for that in a future video. Thanks once again, Tom. I met the designer of Heroes of the Shire, took a look at that game, was told all about it, and so of course I had to buy a copy. It's what you have to do when you go to these conventions. And there was like a board game accessory store there that we checked out. There was a wonderful t-shirt manufacturer there. The quality of his t-shirts are just superb. So Lisa picked up one of those, and there were a couple of people that were showing off some of their games that are coming to crowdfunding soon as well. And it was a delight to see these games and to meet the people who designed them and see how passionate they are about them. It certainly is something I find very infectious when I'm chatting to designers, to see just how excited they are about their games. It's always a delight to see. We also spent some time chatting to the lovely X-Status games people and took a look at some of their role-playing games, and indeed I had to pick up one of their compilations there. That was an essential buy. That looked really quite good, and they also very kindly gave me a copy of their zombie outbreak RPG, Death Throes. So keep an eye out again for a video on this too. And once again, thanks to them for giving me a copy of this to look through and to show you all on a future episode. Obviously there was tons of opportunity for playing games, and we certainly did play quite a few over the weekend, which was really good. Again, another wonderful thing about AireCon is the fact that you get plenty of gaming areas there that you can sit down with friends or meet new people and sit down and play a ton of games. And of course they have their board game library there, and people bring their own games as well. And it wasn't just a beer tasting event. No, there was a table flipping event held for charity, and I believe they raised over £600, could be more, I'm not sure. And it was tremendous fun watching that event. It was really great fun. Here's a few clips for you to get an idea of what I mean by table flipping. Yes, actually flipping tables. Great fun. And the table flipping was not just set up just willy-nilly and for fun. Oh no, it had some very complicated rules, such as, let me check my notes, distance the meeple travelled, the number that ended up being rolled on the dice that was on the table, and also the rotations of the table as well. And you did some adding up, taking away, multiplying and dividing, and Mark was very good at this and come up with whatever the result was. It was all very technical, very scientific. Indeed, I believe they had the good Dr. Rainer Knizia on speed dial should they have required his mathematical help, but all was okay in the end. And I'm sure Flip the Table the game will be coming soon to a crowdfunding campaign near you, published by Bright Eyed Games. It's just a thought, Mark. Brilliant that they held a raffle there, and you could buy raffle tickets and drop them into the bucket of who you thought was going to win. And then of course there was a draw, and quite a few prizes were given out as well, much to the delight of the cheering crowd. They also had an auction this time at AireCon West, and that was a very interesting thing because some people managed to pick up some real bargains. Indeed, our friends, they managed to pick up Tainted Grail for a price that I'm not going to repeat on camera. Needless to say, it was ridiculously cheap. Wow, what a steal, what a bargain they had. So let's hope they do some more auctions in the future. And I tell you what, they are well worth checking out, because you could snaffle yourself a bargain, or even get hold of one of those games, your grail game that you really want. It could be there, so you've got a chance of bidding and snaffling up that game. So another good event as well. See, it's not just all beer tasting, is it? No, I can enjoy things other than just beer. It's not the same, mind you. Well, it's great if I'm actually drinking beer and enjoying other things as well. And we also got to play test one of Fireplace's new upcoming games, Tile Wars. So that was very nice to sit down with Gareth and have a go of one of his latest new games. Well, it was an absolutely fantastic event, spread over the convention centre as well as the Holiday Inn and the Ramada hotels. Tons of space for people to play, tons of space for people to have a whole lot of fun. And after the convention ended, of course, off we'd go back to the hotel and just carry on playing games. And we had the most ridiculous fun, and you guessed it, met even more lovely people. Well, we had a hilarious game of high-rise penguin and of mini dinosaurs. Absolutely fantastic fun with some truly fantastic people. Ah, my goodness, I haven't laughed so much for a long time. Now, just a quick note here. I did say high-rise penguin. We actually played Euro Penguin, which is the original version of the game that our friends brought with them. We've got the high-rise penguin game, which is the new reprint, and it's the smaller version, just to clarify that. And you can check that out on the channel as well, actually. So I want to give a massive thank you, shout out to Martin for arranging this brilliant event, and of course to Mark as well, and also to the lovely volunteers. The volunteers really make the event something special. If ever you get a chance to go along to AireCon, any of the AireCons, whether it's in Harrogate, Manchester or Telford, I strongly recommend you pop along and try one out. I'm sure you'll be going back for more if you do. But of course, like all good things, it has to come to an end. So on Monday, back we came to South Wales on the old train there, making sure, of course, that we took on board our liquid refreshments, played a few more games, got back to Cardiff, and of course had to make sure that we had more refreshments for our onward journey. And of course, Lisa's beaver was on display in the pub. She loves showing off that beaver. So there you have it, another fantastic AireCon. Again, I can't recommend them enough. They really are fantastic events, run by fantastic people, attended by the most wonderful people in the world, and of course have the most tremendously wonderful volunteers. Really highly recommended. Please go along. I wish I could go again now tomorrow. And indeed, if there was one tomorrow somewhere, we would be going. Well, thanks very much for watching and listening to me ramble on about all things AireCon. If you did enjoy the video, please consider giving it the old thumbs up. And also, please click the old subscribe button as well. If you did that, that would be truly terrific, and it would help to grow the channel. So I really would appreciate that. And again, as always, please do take care. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.